are today with Mayor Clayton, again here in Grand Prairie. How are you doing today?
I'm great. It's a sunny day and Stompede's about to kick off, so I couldn't be happier.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. We'll just start with you maybe telling us a bit about yourself.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Jackie Clayton. I'm very proud to be the mayor of the city of Grand Prairie. This is my almost third year being mayor, third term on council. I wasn't born and raised in Grand Prairie. I moved here in 1999, and like many people, had a plan to move here for 5 years, but lost track of time because it's such a great community and such a great region. And once you get here, the people just keep you engaged and you end up living here a lot longer. I often say that people are either from here or they moved here for 5 years and never left. So that's a little about me. I'm a mom and a small business owner as well, and just really love being in this region and have had chances to go back to British Columbia where we moved here from, but couldn't really take myself away from here. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Yes, big community here in Grand Prairie, and we are at the Stompede kickoff.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about the Stampede?
Sure. So Stompede happens every year the last weekend of May. It happens out at Evergreen Park in the county of Grand Prairie. Today is sort of the first kickoff event where they have a bust out, where they do a big barbecue, as you can tell by the crowds. It's incredible. It started officially, I guess, last Saturday. We had a parade right through the middle of the city, and it's a week of celebrations. There's pancake breakfasts every day across the community, barbecues every day, chuck wagon races and rodeo, and it brings in about 40,000 guests to Evergreen Park over the few days, and it's the 47th annual. So this is a long-going tradition in our region.
Do you have a favorite event that happens throughout the week?
Well, I love the chuck wagons, and I mean, you can go every night and see great chuck wagging. Also great to always see the bull riding, but just seeing all the people together in our community, because there's also a midway out there, so you get people of all ages out at Evergreen Park for 4 days.
Oh, wow. Along with Stompede, are there any other events coming up this summer that you're really excited for?
Yeah, absolutely. Our council, as well as county council and communities across the region, do an incredible job of hosting events, over year-round events really, but on the horizon, a few things that are really exciting. Canada Day is always a huge parade. Following that, in the middle of August, we have a Bear Creek Folk Fest, which takes place in our park, 3 days, and I think it's actually sold out. They've done an incredible job over the last few years of engaging people, and our community really embraces that. We also, at the end of August, have an event called Experience GP, and it's a free event where there's a live concert, and this year I hear they're looking to expand it to include multicultural food fest, so that's really exciting. We also have a called Grand Con. It's like a Comic-Con type event that's coming up in July. And then our street performers. Our street performers is world renowned. It's the largest street performers outside of Edmonton, and it's primarily a free event. Obviously, the buskers and the people that are there entertaining, you pay them through contributions, but you can walk down there and walk the streets, and it happens over a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So lots on the horizon for the next few months, but we've been really busy hosting people in our community as well. In February, we hosted the Alberta Winter Games, and we had almost 6,000 people between athletes and officials and parents and spectators come and watch the sports. We also were the first Alberta community to host the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships. That was in May. We had 7 men's teams, 7 women's teams from across Canada, U18 hockey, and so we're really proud to bring them to the region, especially being the first Alberta community to host.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So never a dull moment in Grand Prairie.
No,
basically.
absolutely. Yeah, always something for everyone. I mean, between sport tourism and cultural tourism and job opportunities, there's always something for someone in Grand Prairie. We often hear that people come to Grand Prairie and they had no idea about the incredible facilities we had, and so when we host people, especially with the Alberta Winter Games, we would hear from larger municipalities such as Edmonton and Calgary that they had no idea of the quality and the caliber of our world-class facilities. And then really you combine that with our northern hospitality. We're just a great hosting community. We often call ourselves a games city because we like to bring different games. In 2025, we're hosting the Alberta Summer Special Olympics. We're also hosting a national wrestling championship, and so we really just love to bring people here. It not only is good for economic development, it's a great way for people to learn more about our community.
For sure. Why do you think it is that Grand Prairie works so well as like a game city and a great host for so many wonderful events?
Well, we are strategically located, so if you want to fly, there's 7 to 8 flights a day. It's easy to get in and out of. We're also on, main highways, so it's not 4 hours from Edmonton, so not really that far. But also just the regional assets, and so not just within the city, but in the region, there's incredible facilities, and we're very collaborative to share those facilities for large events. But the city itself, over many years, has been building that inventory of world-class facilities. It's something we're quite proud of, and even when you add that with the cultural component, for example, our art gallery is the second largest public art gallery in Alberta. So you combine those facilities and it really just provides a great opportunity, and also it provides a great place to do business because we are always bringing people to our community.
Is there one thing maybe in particular that you're most proud of seeing since your time being mayor?
Well, this council chose to transition to a municipal police service, which is something that has been a multiple-year conversation, but it was decided in March of 2023. So we're in a 5-year transition plan. We have a new police chief. He's hired his senior leaders. You'll see new Grand Prairie Police Service vehicles on the street now. They just swore in their first experienced recruits yesterday. They are taking in the first group of inexperienced people and training them. So it's something that we've worked for many years. Previous councils started these conversations, and so to actually make that changeover in that, to decide to do that 5-year transition was something that was significant. We're the first Alberta community to do that in more than 60 years. However, when you look across Canada, 80% of people are policed by something other than the RCMP. So the RCMP service and police about 20% of Canada. And so in larger cities, you see police services, and we are not only of the size now, we just wanted to see that local oversight, local input, finding local solutions. And so it's something that we've worked very long and hard on this term, and something we're quite proud of. So far to date, they've hit all their targets, and it's going well.
A lot of work, a lot of events, a lot of things. What would you say is the most challenging part of the work that you do?
Well, I think probably the most challenging part is getting people to learn more about us. So, having people like you here to help tell our story, that's part of the reason we bring people to our community, so they can go away and be spokespeople about our community. As the mayor, if I tell you how great it is, you're probably going to say, of course you think it's great, you're the mayor. But when I have people come to our community and go away with a great experience or a good story, that's half the battle. So I think really the challenge is getting that word out there. When you're a northern community, people assume that it's a cold, long, hard winter. Realistically, we're a couple degrees colder than, say, Calgary, but there's not a lot of significant difference. However, what we do is we embrace winter. So in January, we have an event called Grand North Winterfest, where we get people outside and there's ice slides and outdoor music, and really that couple weeks that are a little bit cold, the sun is always shining in the winter here, and that's just a huge positive. So it might be 20 below, but there's a blue sky. So you put an extra layer on because it's not humid. It doesn't go through you like it would in a coastal community, but it really is a dry cold. So you put an extra layer on, get outside and embrace it, because it doesn't last very long. So telling our story better has been a priority of this council. So it's great to have you here and other people visiting our community so they can also help tell the story.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. It's been a wonderful experience, such a great community, so many things to do. Speaking of which, what is the best part of all that you do?
Well, definitely being in events like this where I get to see so many people in one place is always exciting. We're a very busy council, and so sometimes we get sort of locked in meetings, let's call it, but being out in the community is definitely the best part. But telling the story of Grand Prairie is my favorite thing to do. I will talk about Grand Prairie as long as you allow me to, and I think that we're just very fortunate to live here, not only because of the incredible facilities and the warm hospitality that people offer in this region, but also the job opportunities, the investment opportunities. Really being that size of the city and that 70,000 sort of size gives us that little bit of everything that you need, but only being 4 hours from Edmonton gives people a chance to go there, say, to cheer on the Oilers or something that we may not offer. But really telling more stories about our community and our region is my favorite thing to do.
Amazing. One last question, because we realize you're running to another meeting after
no
this,
worries.
so thank you again. But what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Oh, there's a little bit cliche. I say that often, it's about treating people how you would like to be treated. But I also remind people that different isn't wrong, and we use that in many situations. And so when we have collaborative conversations with our colleagues, they may operate their organization differently. That's not wrong. And so being open to learning about people, about organizations, about situations, just remember that different isn't wrong, and treat people how you would like to be treated.
Thank you so much for
talking thanks for having me. Great to see you guys.
Hey, so here we are at the kickoff Bust Out BBQ for the Grand Prairie Stompede with Trevor Denis, president of the Grand Prairie Stompede Association. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's a great event, and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us, and thank you so much for jumping in and kind of chatting with us for a quick sec.
That's my pleasure.
We'll start off with you just telling us a bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Grand Prairie, and I've been to probably 45 to 45 Stompedes out of the 47, so it's ingrained in me.
Oh yeah, what keeps you coming back every year?
Oh, I love this event. It's a fantastic community event. It's a gem of our peace country. We showcase our host, Evergreen Park, with our friends from the city and the MD of Greenview. So it's just a glorious event, and I've always partaken in it because I've had fun since I was a young child. So happy to be here. Yeah.
Is that what got you involved with the association? Just the fun that you've had in the past, or?
Yeah. I mean, it's part of it. I worked for our inaugural president, Kelly Sutherland, back in the day, who was the greatest chuck wagon driver of all time. And when I worked for him, he instilled in me how important this event is for our community, for our city, and our region. So, yeah, I'm really happy to be a part of it and at the helm of it for the last few years.
Is there an event that's coming up that you're most excited for?
Oh, I think it's hard to pick one. I enjoy absolutely every part of our show. We have a dedicated board of directors that are amazing and put this show on. Without them, I mean, I can sit up here and talk to you all day about it, but they're the ones who actually do all the work. So my hat is off to them. It's our committee.
Aww. What advice or what would you tell someone who's maybe never been here before about it?
Well, grab some boots and a hat and get down there and see it. Like it's amazing. It's a world-class show. We're the third largest rodeo in Canada.
Oh, wow.
And we're the first kickoff for the WPCA wagons. It's an amazing, and if you haven't seen it, you should, because you're missing out if you haven't seen it.
What do you like to do in Grand Prairie? What are some things you could recommend?
Oh man, Grand Prairie is amazing. I've lived here my whole life. There's so many outdoor activities. We have an amazing shooting range at Wapiti Shooter Club. It's probably world class. There's so much. The economy here, boosts our economy for the rest of the country here, and it starts here. We're the mecca of the oil and gas industry and the energy sector, in my mind, in Canada, right here in Grand Prairie. So proud to be here.
Aww. And where do you hope to see the Stompede, or maybe just Grand Prairie in general, in let's say 5 years?
Well, I think our city is prospering. They do with our energy sector here. I think we're just going to keep growing and invest. If you're not here, you should be. Across Canada, I think this is a great place to start a new world for anybody, and raise a family. It's really family oriented here. As far as the Stompede, we got at least another 47 years ahead of us. So we got to keep trudging away, and everybody in the community keeps helping out. So I just that needs to continue.
That's incredible. We got to go buy some boots and head down there, actually.
We'll get down there to Keddy's and get some boots and whatnot. So
perfect. And then last question. What would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
I've never regretted anything I didn't say.
Perfect.
That's the best advice I've probably taken.
That's great. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you.